Welcome to the Home Inspector Marketing Podcast. Because you're a home inspector looking to increase your sales, improve your cash flow, and boost your bottom line, you are in the right place. For additional training resources on how you can grow your home inspection business, go to microreturns.com right now. And now, here's the podcast.
There was something really strange that happened the other day as I was talking to people about how long we've been in the home inspection business. And I don't know about you, but I'm not the youngest guy in the room anymore. I remember when I was 20-something sitting there and I used to look at all the guys around the table and I go, man, I want to be like these guys. Then I found out most of those guys were doing 50 inspections a year and I went, me and my dad are doing like 400 plus inspections a year each, okay? And I go, I don't want to be like these guys. So then I started asking myself, what do I want to be like? How do I want to grow my business? What will that look like? And there were no great examples. I looked all across North America. I traveled to seminars and conferences, and every now and then I'd find somebody that had 3, 4, 5, 6 inspectors, and I went, can that be done? And I sat down with one gentleman. I remember him so well, Everett. He was such a great guy. I made sure I sat next to him at a dinner at a conference, and we talked, and I shared with him, I said, you know, wouldn't it be great if we could all kind of bring the people, the right people together, the people that truly want to succeed, the people that already have some idea of what it takes to succeed, and share ideas with each other. In that process, though, one of the things that I discovered was what it took to be successful, what it took to really take things to the next level. And it was kind of funny because one year, for about 18 years, I would do a show, a huge show for inspectors. And we had a lot of fun with it. I mean, I played all kinds of characters. We did stuff from Star Wars. We had a lot of fun with it. And one time I'm sitting around the table and somebody go, man, you are like the father of home inspector marketing. And I went, I like that, okay? I guess some people actually called me the godfather of home inspector marketing, okay? Because I'll make you an offer you can't refuse, all right? Do you want to be successful? Well, then good. You got to do this. But once you do this, you've got to help other people. And so that was kind of funny too. But the bottom line was, I love the title of being the father of home inspector marketing. In every industry, there is somebody that pulls all the right information together, pulls all the right people together. And when they do, wonderful, exciting things happen. I just had the blessing to be that person in the home inspection field. One of the things that I think makes us unique is that we focus on what you might call the 5 F's. Number 1 for me is family. I am all about family commitment, family being together. Every Thursday night, my family comes together. In fact, this last Thursday night, all 4 of my kids were there. Some of my grandkids were there. It was amazing. So we're about the 5 F's, so family. And then there's fitness. Now, honestly, I could probably do a little better on that. But with that said, I do exercise. I go for walks. I do a lot of things. I make sure that I can stay fit. And it's something that is very important to me. Even my wife recently has just done amazing things in that area. So there's family, there's fitness, and then there's faith, okay? I am incredibly faith-driven. I find that the more faith-driven you are, the more willing you are to take a step forward, even when you don't know where that step is taking you. Kind of like the headlights on a car, right? You can see where you're going with what's in the headlights, but when you go further, then you can see further. Well, faith-driven people have the ability to be able to go around a corner not knowing what's around the corner. Everything I do is faith-driven. We'll talk more about that at some point. Then there's financial, all right? You know, Mark Victor Hansen said it this way. He said, the best thing we can do for the poor is not be one of them. And I couldn't agree more with that. The way I say it is, the more money we make, the more people we can help. So financial is an incredible part of that. And then there's fun. Man, if you can't have some fun in life, then it really isn't worth living. I'm just telling you. So I have 2 weaknesses. One is movies. I love movies. And the second is poker. So I go play poker on a regular basis. Now, both of those also feed into everything else I do because I get new ideas. Poker has taught me patience, which when I was younger, that was a little bit of a struggle for me. And then fun. One of the things I love to do is travel. So me and my wife have just been we've been to Israel and Jordan and Australia and New Zealand and all of the UK, and we're scheduled soon to be able to go to South America and Antarctica. My wife said, "Penguins? Yeah, I want to see penguins." Thank God the polar bears are on the other end. Okay, but fun. So those are the 5 F's. And think about it. Do you have your world rounded out where each of those are being fed on a regular basis? Because if you're not feeding one of them, it throws everything off balance. So one of the things that makes us completely unique, and I want to make sure you think about it, one of the things that makes us completely unique is my family. Been married 40 plus years, 4 amazing kids that have all worked with me at one time or another. A couple of them still work with me, okay? And then, of course, there's fitness, and then there's faith, and then there's financial, and then there's fun. You gotta take a look, and you gotta make sure that you're working on all of them. Now, in my coaching program, one of the things that I really excelled at was searching the world over, hoping I'd find true love. Good hee-haw reference. How many people you think probably don't even get that, right?
It's okay. Half the people get it, half the people don't.
Yeah,
It's
so
all good.
anyway, one of my biggest secrets, this secret may be important for you, one of my biggest secrets is finding people that I can have walk side by side with me that are as good as I am or better. Or better in some areas, maybe not as good as I am in other areas. And that one probably even better. I'm really good at numbers, but then I discovered somebody that not only understood the numbers, but understood why maybe those numbers were supposed to be what they be. And that was Davy Tyburski. Davy and I have done tremendous amount of things together. I've actually asked him to come in and work with me on our business ventures and help me in a number of ways. And Davy has had experience in huge companies and worked with other coaching businesses. And I said, Davy, I mean, what would it take to get you maybe to come work with me? And Davy went, well, you may have just picked the right day to ask me. I mean, Davy, tell us a little bit more about yourself and maybe why you joined us.
Absolutely. First off, love your brother.
Boom.
Always fun to hang out with another brother and being able to serve great members and potential clients and all those kind of things. Well, it's a great question because one of the things that I'm often asked is, how did you earn the title of America's Chief Profit Officer?
Exactly.
Now, again, not profit coach, not something I studied in a book. This is real world experience of how I became America's Chief Profit Officer. And it's really because there's really 5 areas of your business, right? But specifically, it's marketing, it's sales, customer service, operations, and even though the pinky's the smallest, it's really the most important in Mike and I's business, but also in your business as well. It's about getting paid, right? So we got marketing, sales, customer service, operations, and getting paid. And what I've been able to do with companies such as Microsoft, Kellogg's, Goodyear, Walt Disney, just to name a few, and many entrepreneurs in the startup phase is really close the gaps in all areas of that business so we can actually make it more of a profit machine. As you often say, Mike, the more you earn, the more you can serve, or something similar to that.
Right, the more money you make, the more people you can help.
Yeah, so that's one of the things I've always focused on with my clients. And a little more history about me is I spent 20 years in prison. We're supposed to wait a little longer before you laughed.
I used to go visit him.
That's right. And he always wrote me letters, which is even better.
And baked him a cake from time to time.
I think Susan baked the cake, and Mike slipped a few things into the cake, such as screwdrivers, razor blades, and some other things I needed. Okay, it's long enough. No, I was not in prison, but I usually use that. I use that example in terms of my keynote speaking because I talk about I was in prison, but that was actually corporate America. And that was really, we talk a lot about education and knowledge, skills, and abilities. And that's where I got my real world education. As a matter of fact, one of the things that, and we'll transition to another topic here just for a second, but one of the pet peeves Mike and I both have is we've been around this business for a long time. I was in corporate for 20 years. I've been in the entrepreneur space for well over 10 years now. And one of our pet peeves is people that are coaches or consultants that basically got all their experience from a book. As Mike and I both know, and we have the scars to prove it. So
from the arrows in the back,
right, when you come and see us and spend time with us, you'll actually see that we have all those cuts and bruises. One thing my pastor says, I tell Mike this all the time. My pastor tells me it's better for the men watching the video. It's better to learn to shave on another man's face than your own. And Mike and I have a lot of cuts on our faces from things that we've done in the past, and we're going to share that with you when you come and visit us in person. But let me get back to the rest of the story and close the loop. I don't want to leave that open for you. So 10 years in the entrepreneur space, 20 years in corporate, and really the pet peeve doesn't exist with Mike and I. We have been there, very important for you. When you're picking a coach, consultant, an advisor specifically, whether it's Mike and I or not, here's some of the questions you should be asking. One, have they been there? Do they have real-world experience in one of those areas? Marketing, sales, customer service, operations, getting paid. Do they have real-world experience? Have they been there? Check that box, Mike?
Yeah, well, I think that's an easy one to check.
I can check that box, too.
Yeah, I think you can check that box, you know? Yeah.
Why is that important to you? Well, because you're going to learn from our mistakes. You're going to learn to shave on our faces. We're going to share not only the blessings we've had, but also we're going to share the curses. So been there, Mike and I both checked that box. Been there, done that. Can you check the done that box?
Multiple times.
Multiple times. And to fast forward the tape here a little bit, yeah, I could check that box too. And that's where most consultants stop. Been there, done that. What you need to be asking is, are you still doing it today? Are you keeping up with the latest and greatest in your people, latest and greatest in the technology, latest and greatest in the processes, not just what used to work, but more importantly, what's going to work a year, 2, 3 years out? And that's something that by tag teaming with Mike and I together, we're going to be able to deliver to you. So not only been there, done that, but still doing it today. And Mike's business with Jonathan and his family with TexInspect, that company was built to be a prototype. So what that means to you is basically they have gone now for over 30 years, right? For over 30 years, they've had the prototype company. So they've been there, they've done that, and they're still doing it today. So hopefully that's a little helpful to
Can I mention one other thing there? One of the things I find a lot of times is that people get there, so they built $1 million business or a $2 million or $3 million business, and they focus on what they're doing right now. And they forget sometimes what it takes for that new person. One of the things I love about you is I hear you all the time talk about when this happened, this is what we did.
Right.
Not, well, when this happens now, here's what we do now, because most people don't have the capability to do what you and I do now, okay? Right. So we have to remember how we hot dogged it, you know, when we were broke, you know?
Yep, absolutely. I think another key component is, and I can, over 10 industries that I've served, whether, like I said earlier, whether it's billion-dollar companies or a startup entrepreneur, I've personally got into the trenches, into the ditches, got my hands dirty working with over 10 different industries. Now, even though we're specifically talking about home inspectors, why is it important to learn from others who have businesses outside of the home inspection market? And Mike, you want to tell a quick story about maybe one example you have, and then I'll tell one of my stories, and we'll see how we can bring that together.
Well, you know, one of the things, very simple one, is I'm known as the father of home inspector marketing, right? But it's because I went and studied other marketing people in other industries. Studied marketing people out of carpet cleaning, out of dentistry, out of all these other things. And there was this one guy that had this 200% guarantee, and I pulled it out of that industry, pulled it into ours. And so we created the 200% guarantee for home inspections. And when we did, it just completely shook the industry.
As far as my story goes, as far as a different industry, I'll give one. I mean, there's many examples, but if I had to pick one, I'll pick one. For instance, one of my clients, we created a referral box. Like in your business, whenever you're asking for referrals and somebody on your behalf is going out doing that for you, they always clunk it up, right? No one can explain your business better than you. So what we did is we created and let's just call it let's call it the dental arena, just to make it easy, the dental business. So what we did is we created referral boxes, and we put a specific book inside that package. We put a nice gift inside that package. They took it and gave it to their top 20% of the patients. They gave them 5 boxes each. So every time that person was talking to their neighbor, a family member, or whatever, instead of them trying to explain how great this dentist was, all they had to do, spoon feed people, all they had to do is take the referral box, give it to their friend as a gift, and I think it was like 32% of the number of boxes they gave out turned into a client, or a patient, I should say. So if they gave out 100 referral boxes, they picked up 33 new patients because they spoon-fed the person. Now, pause for a second. How can we model that? More importantly, how can you model that for your business of taking a referral box, giving it to a lot of your best clients, so when someone asks them about you, they don't have to try to explain it. They can say, "Oh, I'm glad you asked. Here's a gift for you," and the box does all of the heavy lifting for them.
I love that. My brain is already adapting that into the home inspection industry.
Of course.
I mean, so imagine we pulled our top 20 real estate agents, create this box, which, by the way, creating the box is going to be part of the fun.
Right.
Create this box, give it to our top 20 agents, and they just give it out to some other agents. Oh my gosh, the new mavens we would get out of that could be monstrous.
Well, there you go. Hey, man, I'm happy to help you.
Yeah, there we go. We've earned our living today. I think we're
that's right. So we'll pause there for a second, because here's the point. we just ad hoc that, right? But imagine if you were sitting in this room with Mike, myself, our entire team, and many others just like you that are looking and seeking for new information around your marketing, your sales, your customer service, your operations, and getting paid. These ideas just flow naturally in this environment.
One of the things is everybody that sits around the table has ideas. Then all we have to do is put our experience behind it, whether it was when you were in jail,
Right, exactly. A lot of experience there.
A lot of experience there. I had more experience there than I really care to talk about either. And then take it and tweak it a little bit.
Yep.
I can't tell you the number of times somebody said, oh, what about this? And I went, yeah, but you could do it here, 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 and here. And before we know it, we've 5 times or 10 times a simple idea. This is the reason, guys, I love having Davy here. I mean, man, just that idea right there alone is going to be worth $100,000 or more to me next year.
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, let's close out this segment by saying this. One of the things you'll hear from others outside of Mike and I in our group is addition. They'll talk about addition. How do you add a new client? How do you add a new real estate agent to represent you and refer you? If you want just addition, you should probably go and hang out with those folks. But if you're looking for multiplication, how do you 10x that? How do you 20x that? We're the folks and we're the team you want to hang out with. One of the things Mike and I talk about a lot is all the information that's out there. I mean, we got the internet, we got social media, go at YouTube. You could do brain surgery if you watch the right YouTube video. But here's the important part, what we want to talk about is what good is all that knowledge if you can't break it down into bite-sized pieces for me, the 6th grader in the room, to clearly understand, and without having a blueprint of how to implement all that information, all that knowledge, what good is the knowledge?
It's important for people to realize that the information's all out there. How are you going to organize it? How are you going to study it? How are you going to prioritize it? One of the things I love about what you do is you teach people how to prioritize what's the next most important thing they're going to learn. What I find is that people have the information, but as soon as they get this done, they don't know what's next. Even during an inspection, I would be saying, all right, I'm inspecting this, but I'm going to go here next because I knew what my routine was. When you have the information prioritized and organized the way you and I have learned to do it through different mastermind groups and different successful people, then the information's there. And we just go, okay, I'm working on this right now, but I know this is next. I know this is where I'm going. It's kind of a cool thing.
Absolutely. And let's go back. Let's go back a few years back in the day, right, when I walked to school in the snow backwards. I just remember in my first couple years of getting into improving my knowledge, my skills, abilities through seminars back in the day of cassette tapes and CDs and all that. I wish there was a way and somebody or a group that would actually take all that information and break it down, because let's face it, let's look at today. There's so much information out there that it becomes overwhelming.
Very much so.
So you have to have not just information, you need to have the right information that's really filtered out, and that's what Mike and I do a great job with. We only pull out the gold nuggets that really are going to have the biggest impact on you, your business, and your family, and we only take the most important asset we have. We only take your time and talk about those particular pieces. Because if you had to go out on your own and look at every YouTube video on how to market your business, how to run your business effectively, it would be, if not thousands, probably tens of thousands of hours of information that's out there. And how do you know it's right? How do you know it's correct and it's actually going to work in your business? Well, there's no guesswork with us. We know it works. It works here on planet Earth, and that's what we want to share with you when you come and see us.
By the way, guys, this is the reason I asked Davy to be a partner with me on this, is because I have literally watched him go through this over and over and over again with company after company after company, and not just small companies, which has been great, but with huge companies, okay? And I cannot tell you how excited I am that you're going to be part of this group moving forward. And here's what I know. They'll get to that faster because there's 2 of us, not just 1. And then the truth is there's 10 of us, because other $1 million companies are going to be sitting in the room that have followed the formula and working on it as well.
There you go. So who are your board of advisors? Who are you listening to? Who's filtering out that information? Are you listening to the good angel, or are you listening to the devil on the shoulder?
Because one of the biggest mistakes we see people make is listening to the wrong person, okay? Listening to somebody that says they know how to make you successful, but they haven't done it themselves, and or if they've done it themselves, they don't even really know exactly what they did to get there. It's what you and I work on every single day.
And another thing that makes us unique here within the company is the fact that we offer a 10x guarantee when you're a fly on the wall at one of our upcoming events.
Well, yeah, and here's the thing is, when I used to do my big events and we had hundreds of people come, I told them, I said, come, and if you're not absolutely, totally convinced that you're going to get 10 times what you paid to come to that event, some of them paid a lot of money to come to those events, I said, I'll give you your money back. In fact, so here's what I want you to understand. Come be a fly on the wall. Just sit in the room with multi-million-dollar people, okay? And some people, by the way, that are their first year in business and had the best year you could possibly imagine as a first-year person. And hear what we say, hear what we teach them. I guarantee you're going to get at least 10 times the value of what you pay to come to be a fly on the wall. And if for some reason you don't, I'll give you your money back. Plus, I'll give you $500 just to help cover your travel. Because here's what we know. We're looking for the people that are fearless, and we're fearless.
Yep.
And I'm going to tell you another secret. Never had anybody take me up on the offer after the 3 days. Guess why? Because we deliver at an incredibly high level.
Absolutely. And another key part too, again, if you're even thinking maybe, then you need to come to the event and get to experience what we have to offer, because there's no better way to drive a vehicle than to actually get in it and test drive it. So that's why we want you to come with us. And just to close this particular piece out, we want to make sure that you're this type of person. Number one, you have a burning desire.
Absolutely.
Number two, you're seeking specialized knowledge so you can expand your knowledge, your skills, and your ability.
Yep.
Again, if this is you, we're definitely the right community for you. If you have discipline, in other words, the discipline to take action and get things done, you're very decisive, so you're able to make decisions without sitting around wondering what you should do, you're our type of person. And the last one is really, if you love being around people just like you and some that are maybe more successful so you can learn from them, then certainly being part of our mastermind is certainly right for you. So go ahead and click the button on this page and go ahead and register for the upcoming event, and we look forward to seeing you then.
If you would like to join us at the April Mastermind, go to homeinspectormarketingpodcast.com/mastermind.
We hope you enjoyed the podcast, and as a friendly reminder, if you're looking to increase your sales, improve your cash flow, and boost your bottom line as a home inspector, go to microreturns.com right now.